Well, welcome. We're actually here in the renovated nursery facility, and this is part of all of our kids' area. There's a lot that we want to tell you, but we actually think it's better when you come to see it in person. Yes, I did say those words. When you come to see it in person, because we have a plan, and you've been working behind the scenes on this plan for the past few months.
Yeah.
Just getting us ready for a few important things. And number one is, you've been getting your house ready too because you're expecting a baby.
Yeah.
So today is actually the last day of you working here before maternity leave.
Yeah.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about who is going to be running kids ministry?
Okay. So luckily we have someone who is going to be fantastic at this. It's Pastor Christina. If you know Pastor Noah, then you know Pastor Christina is his wife. So it's Christina O'Connor. She's going to be taking over our children's ministry while I'm away on maternity leave. And she has her own little kid, so he is going to be part of our children's ministry as well. So she is going to be really implemented into it, and I think she's going to be great.
Yeah, I think she's going to do a wonderful job, and the good thing is you've already worked her in, given her instructions. Christina has quite a role to play because she's going to actually help us with reopening.
Yes.
Now, we've been obviously a little bit, I wouldn't use the word hesitant because I think that almost makes it seem like we're not bold. We're actually very bold people. But we are purposefully cautious just regarding the children of Bethel. We wanted to see how things developed with kids, especially this summer, camps opening up, churches. Now we've seen, and again, I know that we don't always know how to interpret media reports, but many of us, we have family, we have friends that work within different sectors, and so we know that there really is a genuine risk of COVID that happens. Now how that plays out among children, we don't know that exactly. There are a lot of undetermined factors. Your children are a priority to us.
Yeah.
I think their safety, pastoral ministry, is looking out for the safety of others, even if they're not looking out for their own safety.
Right.
So for us, we just said, you know what, we're going to let kids kind of be in service with their parents outdoors under their supervision and jurisdiction. Now we know that for many of the parents it's been kind of difficult because they don't know how to feel or what to do. Now we knew that for a lot of our parents too, with their kids returning back to school, that was already going to be enough work in and of itself. That's just being honest. For my own personal life, we have 3 children. They go to 3 different schools. We keep getting updated information every few days. So we're trying to get our brains around what's the protocol and what's going to happen for school. We figured as a church ministry, we wanted to kind of let the car go in reverse a little bit. Give all of our parents the opportunity to figure out the schooling of their children, daycare needs of their children first. And as that kind of rolls and progresses further, we're going to look at the actual reopening of kids ministry. So we do have a date in our planning. So why don't you tell us a little bit about reopening? What is that going to look like for us?
Right now, it looks like it's going to be the middle of October, probably about October 18th will probably be our first Sunday reopening the kids ministry program. What that will look like is just kind of keeping the groups separate and smaller. We do have a kids sanctuary in our new kids area that I was excited to use and do worship together and have them all together as a group. But I think for now, just keeping them separate within their classes is going to be ideal for the reopening and just kind of seeing what that looks like. And it's really just making sure that we're just taking the proper precautions with cleanliness and keeping our rooms clean and I know we always have snack time, and I'm sure our kids don't want to miss out on snack time.
I wouldn't. I like snack time.
I do too. I always have some snacks. But even giving them an individually packaged snack versus a scoop from a general bowl or something like that, that's little things like that are going to make the difference. Plus, just increasing the security and the safety, I guess, for our kids too was a big part of renovating and creating the new Bethel Kids area. So even just having a check-in and check-out area that is a little bit different and more useful and really just ensures the safety of our kids. So it's going to look the same, but a little bit different at the same time.
Now, why don't you just take a moment and walk us through that? Like if I'm coming to church here, so say you're going to open up that ministry, what can I expect? I'm going to come through the doors of the main sanctuary to the foyer at least. Do I go check in at the welcome center? Like how does that work? Does my kid go into service with me? Kind of walk me through how I bring my kid downstairs. Because I know everyone feels like, how do I do things now? Everyone's a little bit cautious as to how to approach things. Everything is a little different.
Yeah. And that's okay to have questions. I know, like, on the first few days or the first few weeks, you may have no clue how to get your kids down to Bethel Kids, and that's all right. So we'll have, first of all, there's going to be a lot of signage, and thankfully Pastor Maria is working on that with me, and I'm sure she'll continue working on that with Pastor Christina, just to make sure that everything's clear directionally where you should go. Previously, you would check your kid in, you walk him through the lobby, and you go to the Welcome Center on the left. You do the check-in where they get a little sticker, and you get a matching sticker. We're still going to do that, but instead of having it upstairs, you're going to actually walk down the stairs to where you normally go towards the cafe. And directly to your left, you're going to see a check-in desk, and it'll say Bethel Kids Check-In. And that's the same place that you would do check-out. So you'd be able to check your kid in. It's going to be a manned station, so if anything goes wrong with the system, if you have any questions, if you brought any guests and there's somebody new with you, they're going to be there to help you versus you having to try to figure out the sticker thing on your own.
That's great.
I know it was confusing at times. So there'll be someone there to help you. You'll have your sticker on you. Your child will have their sticker on them. They get dropped off now, and they get to go through the double doors into our Bethel Kids hallway. Nobody else does. So then they're in here the whole time. Now it's time to check out. And well, let's say during the service something happens and we need you as a parent to come down and either talk to your child, if they're in the nursery and they need a bottle, or we ran out of supplies or something, they need a specific diaper or something like that. Say we need you. That sticker, we can now text Pastor Zach upstairs in the sanctuary, and he will put up whatever your sticker letters or numbers are, because I think it's a mixture, on the screen to let you know to come downstairs, so that way we can get your attention versus having to walk into the sanctuary, point you out, get you, bring you downstairs. And that goes for Wednesday nights, I believe, too, during Encounter, but we'll get that more situated as the time comes. And then checkout is basically, we used to you can come down into the classroom or come down into the kids area and just pick up your kid, and everybody kind of exited certain ways. But now you just go to the checkout desk. There's a checkout spot, so that way we can take your letters and we'll actually be able to check your kid out. It's in our system that they got checked out by so-and-so, by whoever parent checked them out. And then we walkie-talkie to our classrooms, and they send your kid out and they release you. And you're all good. So nobody, unless you're a Bethel Kids worker, unless you're a parent being called down to the kids area, or you're a child who's been checked in, you really shouldn't be in our kids area. And it's going to be very visible. And all of our teachers also will have lanyards that have their name, and it says Bethel Kids Volunteer on it as well.
No, that's wonderful. We really want that clear, identified space. So those that normally would know the former offices of the pastors, when you would go beyond the bathroom area through the double doors to the double doors that would go into the fellowship area, in between those double doors is our kids space, and during any service where kids ministry is happening, that space is now considered off limits to anyone who is not an authorized children's worker or a parent who is coming to facilitate a specific need for their child. Again, you know our protocol, but all of our workers are background checked. They will be having pre-meetings regarding sanitary precautions with COVID. And to be realistic with you guys, the way that COVID affects people and how people respond to it is different per person. There are some people that really kind of want to protect their kids and keep them home. Other people have felt very frustrated. They wanted us to kind of have kids ministry the whole time. And we understand both sides of the story. Believe me, we're all on different pages as well of what we want, what we expect. But what that means is we technically are down the number of workers that we would normally have. So normally we would offer children's service, so that would be everything from nursery to kids program, and that would be first service, second service, and on Wednesday evening. When we reopen, so from the middle of October all the way through to the end of December, we are only going to be offering kids ministry once on Sunday during our second service, because that is the only amount of volunteers that we can utilize in order to keep kids ministry going. Now, if there are people that are watching and you would like to be part of kids ministry and you can help us fill up that schedule for kids and nursery, by all means reach out to us. We will have to do a background check. We have to tell you about the policies, and you would have to kind of get on board with all of those things. But in order to meet the need, we have to kind of gradually do this. We hope that you will understand why, we can't do this on our own.
Right.
We need our volunteers. We appreciate all of them. And we respect the decisions that they make too. Some people genuinely need to, for their health, just kind of be out of kids ministry, or because of their work, they're exposed to people more often, so they don't want to expose the kids to anything. Right. So it's like a double-edged sword that we deal with. So in that, we just want you to know that it will still, even though kids ministry will start, it will be gradual. So Sunday morning, second service, because once we get to the month of October, our hope, unless something really different happens, is to be offering services inside the building. Again, I have to say that's tentative plan.
Right.
We don't know what's going to happen exactly, but we're aiming toward that. And so in that, the kids, again, second service, and then we will have a Wednesday night program available as well for the children. So please keep those two things in mind. Again, like I said, and I wasn't joking, if you really feel like you would like to help us out from the middle of October to the end of December, please reach out to us. How do you do that? You call the church office. You can send an email to alyssa@bethelcc.org. Again, alyssa@bethelcc.org. And we would be more than happy. I know she's on maternity leave, so she's going to be able to forward those emails to Pastor Christina as she comes in to take over. But we really would appreciate your help. Secondly, we also thank you for your understanding during this time. You've been very patient. You've been very kind. Also, all of our kids workers, really, you've been wonderful of just communicating very openly with us about where you're at and all of this. And so we thank you for that. Big props, obviously, to the people who really are coming back to help out. They're not hindered because of work or because of anything else, and they're just like, hey, I'm ready to roll with this. And so we thank you for that. We know the kids are going to be extremely happy to see you again. Thank you so much for watching this video. Pastor Alyssa, we pray all the best for you. In the coming weeks, as it's not really the baby's name, we kind of call him Morty. It's not his real name. His real name will be revealed when he is born. But we really are happy for you that you get this peace and this rest. We really do thank you from the bottom of our hearts for all of the adjustments that you've made. You're not even actually going to see it happen.
I know.
I know, it's kind of crazy. But when you do return back, you'll be able to work in this new space. And your heart really was giving the children of Bethel a place of belonging. And belonging is identified by having a set space that is yours. Now, we know in the past they did have a space. We moved it over here for safety reasons, for bathroom reasons, for practicality. So again, Bethel has always provided that. We had to make adjustments, but this is going to be their space, and we're very happy about that. Even with talking to Frances, who's worked at this church for many years and retired since the last few years, she said, really, it was always the desire and goal to get kids ministry over here. It just kind of never materialized. So she's happy, like, yes, they're here. So we're excited to have kids ministry happen on this side of the building, just make it more practical for all of you. And so we thank you really just big time for your giving, for your support, for your prayers, compliments. We also had a beautiful moment happen after kids ministry was kind of closed other than video stuff for a long time, and that was our first outdoor baptismal service. We saw many children be baptized, and Pastor Alyssa just jumped in and baptized them with me. That was a privilege, and we're really thankful to the Lord for his continued work. He's the good shepherd. He watches over you guys, and we're grateful as pastors to be able to assist the Lord and assist you in that. Have a wonderful day, and we can't wait to see you.